Good day, everybody. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition coach and intuitive eating and body image expert. And today, given that it is a holiday season, I know not everyone celebrates, but just in general, you can probably all feel that there's more buzz, anticipation, rushing, pressure, expectations. And how do you think that's going to impact any one of us who have any struggles with food, exercise, self-care, any of those kind of things? I know you can't exactly raise your hand right now, but what I'm suspecting and what I want to suggest is there's just more stuff going on. And we are more easily tripped up with other people's stuff and expectations and projections and the whole nine. So something I was thinking about this morning is we have this thing around the holidays. I see it a lot in so many people. There's like this kind of doing what they got to do and either showing up a little bit glazed over, just kind of like going through the motions. And of course, that's going to impact your ability to be attuned with hunger and fullness. And then there's the other like anticipatory deflation of like, oh, this is going to be so hard and I got to do this. Or there's this panicky, I want to say hyperactive, I don't mean as like in hyperactive, it feels like the inside, like you can't stop moving, you can't stop being productive, you can't stop doing, essentially. So I'm seeing that around, not just in my clients, but just in general in people. And this video is just to remind you right this second to find your feet, just like we did Monday. Find your seat and find your back on your chair and take a second to breathe if you can. And you might notice that you're not breathing that much. And what I want to go back into those three scenarios is, so if your autopilot, let's say, is when you get panicky, let's say you don't eat, and not because maybe it's purposeful, but your adrenaline's rushing and you're losing track. And what I am going to suggest, if that's your pattern, to know that like you don't have to be producing anything. You don't have to always have a smile on your face or be the best at anything right now or ever to deserve to slow down and eat your food and eat what you want. If you're a person that's more like, oh, this dread is going to be so hard, I want you to think, but does it have to be? I know it's difficult when we're maybe saying, if there's some things that you feel like I can't not go to this thing, I get it. So, and I'm wondering when that happens, how is that impacting your food? How is that impacting your sense of self and therefore your feelings about your body? And if you have any scenarios like this that you, as I'm talking, that you like, oh, this is me, but it's a little different, please put in the comments below. I'd be happy to address that either as you're talking here today or in another video. But just again, I'd love to see your comments. So if there's deflation, I remember, the first couple of years in recovery and then doing intuitive eating, I still hadn't obviously worked through all of my family stuff and sense of, where do I fit and belonging and am I good enough? That was still all years in the making. And the way my recovery went, I kind of did a lot of food and body image work first and some family stuff, but mostly kind of like the food got better before all my other underlying stuff got better. That's how it worked for me, but I know a lot of people's processes parallel at the same time, or some people it flip-flops, but that's just kind of how it worked for me. I know one of the reasons that way worked for me because I was so hit bottom and so miserable that it's like, I know I have to eat food, so I might as well eat a variety of food and learn how to know what I like again and make the best of this difficult, uncomfortable process. And so for me, I kind of like, well, how am I going to make this fun? I have to go to a party. I'm kind of freaking out because I don't know what the food's going to be. This is going to be awful. I would hear that talk. And I would say, okay, wait a minute. No, this is just food. It's not magical weight gain food. It's food. And I'm making it bigger than maybe what it is around the food. So let's... do I have a hood? No, I don't have a hood on my jacket. Anyway, let's see. I'm sorry, guys, so totally sidetracked with that. But what I notice is like, I'm making a bigger deal about this food stuff than it really is. So how do I um, make things, what they are, which is, here's food, here's how to make it match with either whatever my needs are with my hungerfulness, or if you're on a meal plan, that, and make it work, in terms of like, instead of going there, how can I, get by that I don't know what things are, I'm going to have to eat anyway, and I'm afraid of it being out of control. So how do I actually contain things? And a lot of it is not making it a big deal as it's not a big deal, the what you choose to eat. So there's that. If you're a person that kind of like, okay, I'm going to, maybe you don't even know that you do, or you don't want to go be around certain people, or you want to do certain things, and you find that your body language is like, you're checking out, and you get like, I don't know what's happening, and then before I know it, I'm eating all the food. It's like, if you can notice that that's happening in your system, and you can back it up a step, what you're going to start to notice is that you're going to find that you have more awareness around what needs to happen in your boundaries, as well as what other people do and say about your food, around your body, doesn't have to be the thing that makes the it doesn't have to ruin the situation for the holiday, the party, the thing for you. It's more about, okay, I know that like people are here projecting all their stuff, because this is what people do when they get stressed, right? Around food, body, money, relationships, everything. When people have more expectation, more pressure, more stress, they tend to project, because, humans do that. What we want to do is recognize that's kind of what's going on here, and I don't want to be in my autopilot. That's almost like going into these events or situations or expectations. No, like, okay, people aren't really at their most grounded right now, so I'm going to need to be extra. So I'm going to need to be extra self-caring. I'm going to need to be extra taking breaks for myself. So I'm going to talk more about that on Friday, but I just want to give you, like, these are the things that I am seeing. We get more autopilots because other people may be like that too. We're all bumping up against each other's stuff. And of course, if you're struggling with food or body image, that's going to, if we're not aware, that has a probability of taking us off of our path with our food and our body image, where we're at so far in our journey. So I just want you to all think about that just knowing, if you could feel in your body that sense of like worry, panic, deflation around parties, what's going on, whatever, recognize, sorry, the sun's getting up in my face here. It's really important just to recognize that, other people are ungrounded too. So your job, because you have the little, warning flag of food or body image thoughts that pop up in your head, you want to be able to take a step back, and then another step back, and another step back, and recognize that you have more say than you think. It doesn't have to be awful. You can learn to say yes or no to things you do or don't want to do. If people say icky, triggery, very inappropriate things, just commenting on somebody else's body is inappropriate. So just to know that, if you feel that way, that's actually kind of normal. Nobody who wants to be really only acknowledged for what they look like. Nobody. And, if they're really honest, nobody wants that. So if that happens, that's other people's projections, because it's this time of year and everybody's already gearing up because we're programmed to gear up. You don't have to do that anymore. So I hope this video was helpful. It's a little circular, but I just want to make sure you remind you, know what your patterns are. Know that you need extra self-care right now. Know that everybody else is in a swirl and a whirl. Probably the vast majority of people, of trying to keep up, do what other people do extra, whatever, and you don't have to. And we can get to the place where, even though you might be early in your journey watching this, or maybe you're not, and it's just this time of year brings up stuff for you, know that more self-care is needed, not less. Knowing your patterns more now than ever is really, really important to keep this from the food being any bigger deal than what it is. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I would love it if you pass it along to your friends. So take care. Bye.